Hello students, today we will read 4th poem of grade 10, How to Tell Wild Animals, written by Caroline Walls. This is a very humorous poem that suggests some different ways to identify wild animals. Let's read the poem. If you ever should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and twiny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. Here, twiny means yellowish brown color. By this stanza, the poet wants to say, if you will ever get a chance to go to jungles of the east, and then there you will see a beast of yellowish brown color who is roaring, that and you feel that you are about to die, that means it is an Asian lion. The explanation, the poet is telling the readers that how you can recognize various animals in the jungle of the east. So in this stanza, she says that if readers, means you, come across an lion, an animal whose skin is yellowish brown in color, and if it roars at you or means him so strongly that he can die out of fear, it means that he has encountered an Asian lion. She has humorously explained the Asian lion which could kill a person with its roar. Rhyme scheme, literary devices. Rhyme scheme of this stanza is A, B, A, B, C, C. Chance, A. East is not similar of chance, so B. Advance, same as chance, so again A. Beast, same as east, so B. Means A, B, A, B here. Though it is dying, but it pronounced like dying, and lion. So it sounds like same, so we are giving C to both of these. So rhyme scheme is A, B, C, C. Next is enjambment. Enjambment means the continuation of a sentence to the next line without using any punctuation mark. And if there should to you advance a large and twiny beast. The meaning of the poem is clear in these two lines, and the first line is completed without putting any punctuation mark. Assonance, repetition of vowel sound. You should go o. Allusion, reference to a famous thing, place, species of animal. So it is Asian lion. Next stanza. Or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you means meets you, with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Noble stands for high-born, aristocratic. Royal, discern, recognize. By this stanza, the poet is explaining that if an animal that roams, means moves in the jungle and belongs to a royal clan, means royal family, the color of the skin is yellowish with black stripes. She says that if you notice that he kills you and eats you up, then it means that you have surely seen a Bengal tiger. This time again the poetess is using humorous way, because if a person has been eaten up by any wild animal, then there is no use of determining which wild animal it was. Rhyme scheme, round, A, U, B, ground, A, U, B, learn and discern, same, so C, A, B, C, C. Next is alliteration, because of roaming round, R, R. Allusion, again, here Bengal tiger. Assonance, O sound, vowel, or sound, roaming round, O, repetition. Next stanza. If strolling forth, a beast you view, whose hide with spots is peppered as soon as he has leapt on you. You'll know it is the leopard. 'Twill do no good to roar with pain. He'll only lap and lap again. Strolling stands for walking casually. Fourth is forward. Hide means skin of animal. Peppered, here the sports. A lapped is jump towards someone. The poet says that if you are casually walking in a jungle, you will meet an animal who has a skin with spots on it. This animal is so fast that it will jump on you at once. This jumping is an indication that it is none other than the leopard. Moreover, she adds that if you will cry out in pain, it is not going to be of use as it will keep on jumping on you. So by this stanza, the poet has explained the characteristics of a leopard. Lap and lap again means jump and jump again. Roar, sound. Literary devices, alliteration. He has. H. First letter. Repetition, lap and lap. Words are repeating. Assonance, O sound. Strolling, forth, ooze, sport, soon. Again and again the words are using. O. Consonants, L. L. Lap, lap. L. Consonants. Next. Stanza 4. If when you are walking round your yard means the back side of your house, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it is a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess you'll give you just one more kiss. Here, kiss, a gentle touch, which is a characteristics of bear. Poetess explain, if you are walking in the lawn area of your house and you meet a creature which hugs you tightly, it is a bear. She further adds that if you are still in doubt regarding the animal, the easiest way is that he will keep hugging and touching you very gently. This act of his will make you sure about its identity. You will come to know that it is a bear. If any doubt, I guess he'll just hug you, give you a gentle touch, and you will come to know that it is a bear. Literary devices, enjambment. If when you are walking round your yard, you meet a creature there. Alliteration, WW, when walking, that is. Next, who hugs, though it is W but sounds who, H, hugs, B, bear, your yard. Assonance, E sound again and again. Meet, creature, there. Repetition of letters, vowel. Stanza 5. Though to distinguish beast of prey, a novice must nonplus the crocodile you always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. In this stanza, the poetess is explaining two different creatures. One hyena and the other one is crocodile. Beast of prey stands for any animal that hunts other animals for food. Novice, someone new to a job. And nonplus, confused. The poet says that for someone who is new to the job of recognizing the wild animals, it will be like a puzzle to recognize that hunts other animals for its food, because both are hunting other animals for food. They are beast of prey. So here the poet tries to help out the readers by telling the difference between two animals. He says hyenas will be smiling, whereas a crocodile will always be in tears. But both these animals are very dangerous. And the literary devices of this paragraph is alliteration, NN, the TT, enjambment, though to distinguish beast of prey, and a novice might nonplus. Next is the true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, this the chameleon you see. Here the poet says that the next is chameleon, which is a very small creature. It's look like a lizard, but the difference between the two is the chameleon does not have ears and wings. Moreover, she says that chameleon has the ability to change its color according to the surface on which it is sitting. That is a characteristic of chameleon. Therefore, if you see a tree and find nothing else on it, then it must be a chameleon sitting on it. It has changed its color into the color of the tree. And literary devices, alliteration, he hasn't, HH, consonants, single wing, G, G. With this, students, stay home, stay safe, and thank you very much.